Hello, you wonderful people, and I am Normal Player Guy, probably your favorite underrated YouTuber. Am I? Maybe not, but who knows? Who cares? So now we're going to do another versus video. Who's better? Golden Freezer versus Golden Freezer. Ooh, that's a tough one. Actually, no, it is. It's way tougher than you think. So Tech Golden Freezer versus AGL Golden Freezer. Both have had their easy A's and both do pretty much the same sort of deal, right? They have not very much attack, but they reduce a tremendous amount of damage. So let's stick with Golden Freezer, who, in my opinion, probably is the better one. Only reason being is this guy can actually do damage. That's basically it. So he's a tech type and he's 120% 3 key, which means you can use him in Battlefield and you can use him in Monotype, Super Battle Road, etc. And great. So you can stick him in slot 1, not a problem. He reduces damage received by 80% when you're above 50% or more. That is fantastic. The only problem is he has no defense, so he can still get batted quite a bit. Checking out his defense, it's at basically 11,000. So he can work even in the most extreme of difficult events. The only way this guy can not really tank any form of a super attack is when you go into Extreme Super Battle Road Movie Boss. I'm telling you, this guy takes like 15k from a normal rather than double digits and takes upwards of 50 to 70k from a super attack. Which, again, to be fair, actually, if anyone taking about that much damage from a super attack in extreme Super Battle Road is also quite powerful, right? But that just goes to show just how crazy that event is. But this guy can still hold his own. He does nothing else more. He does reduce damage then by only 50% when you're under 50% HP, and you have a much bigger attack buff. That allows you to actually become just more usable. You still have damage reduction. The only problem with this guy is there is quite a bit of a difference between no defense in his passive at 80% damage reduction, and no defense in his passive at 50% damage reduction. The guy gets eliminated, absolutely destroyed, basically by then. And by the way, it's the start of the turn as well. So you will need to then float him off. He will get you killed. But then again, 50% damage reduction. If you run him in Battlefield, you'll have type advantage. Basically, you should be able to survive normals, but a super attack will kill you even with this, just because there's no defense in him. However, that being said, if you give him a little bit of support, he will become monstrous. He only needs somewhere around 40% defense, somewhere from a passive, from a supporting unit, and boom, there you go. You've got it. Shall we check him out? Who here would actually like to give support? I think you do give a bit of support. But outside of that, no one really here actually gives support to all allies. Right, you could run him on Terrifying Conquerors and Movie Bosses, which you can do, and this guy gives, what does he give, like 40%, and then he gives 50% to Transformation Boost. That could be quite nice. Yeah, no, that actually could be beneficial. You could run them two as a rotation. You would get Universe Most Malevolent, Strongest Can Space, and Fierce Battle, but he is also a 50% transformation boost. That's attack and defense, by the way. Oh, I'm probably key, against, to help support this guy, which would be really nice and capable on quite a lot of teams. But you'll see that they're going to be capable on quite a lot of teams based on each other between them, because they are basically the same unit, except this guy is probably more offensively capable with a better leader skill. So we'll check out AGL Golden Freezer. So the only problem with this guy is, realistically, there's two problems. One, his leader skill means he's banned from some events, and also that means he's irrelevant from a leader skill. But the other bad thing going against him is that he has no offensive capability, period, and he's had an easy A. However, where he shines is he has damage reduced by 90% when HP is 40% or more. That used to be 50% or more. His easy A is now down to 40%. Which, yes, makes a world of difference on powerful teams. There is a world of difference between entering the turn at 40% and 50%. It is a thing. But you also get 2 key. I don't even remember. Yeah, you don't even get any key from this guy. So you actually get, but then again, I don't know why they give him 2 key. He does nothing. He does stack attack, but I'm telling you, it does nothing. It's ridiculous. However, that being said, the damage reduction of 90%, even with no defense in his passive, nothing harms this guy, not even Cell Max. Nothing. And he has type advantage over this guy. Nothing can stop nothing can stop this guy. He, as well, in was it Extreme Super Battle Road, can take a bit of damage, especially from all these normals. But again, nothing can stop him. You gotta be above 40% or more HP. But yes, what it means though is for either one of these, if you start at 41% HP and then you get hit and you fall below 40%, you still maintain your damage reduction up until the next turn. That's fine. And also, if you start the turn, then by the time it hits you, you should also have it. Now, the tech one, I believe, doesn't quite fit into that. I believe it's the kind of the other way around. If you start the turn and he's in with more, and then by the time it gets to him, you can take some damage. But no doubt this guy, for the more defensive builds, he is basically the equivalent, the extreme equivalent of AGL Vegito. That's basically what he does. What they should do is to take this 2 key 90% with 4 more key spheres obtained and just give him 2 key and some sort of support with 4 more key spheres obtained, right? You should just make him a support because that would be more relevant. Again, he has the same sort of deal in terms of links. And not really any of these, even if you have like Resurrection of Ephron, you're gonna prop up that. Even if you have Super God Combat, Revival, Fierce Battle, you're just not gonna hit hard. Period. Whereas this guy, you take a bit of damage, but with his extra attack makes him somewhat capable. So that's it. In terms of the teams that they're on basically the same teams, and in terms of who they work well with, they work basically the same in terms of that. These are the same sort of links, and these are the same sort of people you're going to work well with. So really, it's going to come down to: do you need a truly, truly heavy, like a really heavy tank, just because you think most of my team is fine? Then we have this. Or do you need someone who you can be used as a very solid tank, no doubt, but when it comes to needing a bit of extra attack, you can actually use this guy. So, it's a trickier question than you imagine. So between the two of them, then you're probably going to be using probably this guy. You just want the extra damage. I mean, I'm not kidding. This guy's had an easy A, even at Rainbow. Even if you get the extra 90%, he barely breaks 1,000,000. Whoop-de-doo, we're going to get 1,000,000 on this. But again, there's no doubt that he works well with, say, like this guy, and he works well with you can use him alongside. Doesn't show because it's not a linking partner, but you can use him alongside the LR Golden Freeza. Both of them are dynamic duos when it comes to just in terms of defensive damage reduction. This guy is 90%, but so does the LR Golden Freezer at the start of his turn, and then he loses 10% per rotation. And he, of course, is fantastic. So when it comes to them two, they are just truly amazing. But of course, he still does no damage, even though that rotation you'd take nothing. Same as this guy, you could take absolutely nothing. I suppose if you really want to narrow it, you want to get nitty gritty in terms of who you can help with in terms of monotypes. You got Transforming Freezer, who's pretty decent, right? You have this guy who's had his EZA from the Super Strike event and also from, oh no, sorry, he's the one from the tournament, but solid. This guy's had his EZA from, and that's a final form cooler. So you have Transforming Freezer, right? You have this from the tournament, who is pretty decent. Wait for his awakening. And then you've also got this EZA, but then again, you've got on versus on here, you've got Sworn Enemies lead. This guy's pretty solid with his stuns, his AoE. Then you've got the other LR Golden Freezer on there, right? So, easily capable of putting out a great rotation. Honestly, it's probably going to come down to who you probably have then in terms of your box. Who's in your roster? Do you have this guy? Do you have the most recent LR Golden Freezer? Or do you have more likely Transforming Freezer? And do you have EZA Final Form Cooler? Right, these are the people that you're probably going to work it out around, because based on their teams, based on what they do, they're basically the same. It's very tricky. You don't even need them at 100%. 55% is going to be more than enough, because you won't even get super attacks with them half the time. You're just going to be there just to pick out one or two rubbish orbs that are in the way, and they're just going to be there just to absorb the blows. But that being said, it's going to come down to a personal preference. Yes, one can do more, but one can do more. That's funny, that isn't it? But one does more defensive, one does more offensive, while still being defensive. Remember, it's only 10%, but he gets 50% more attack. And he actually has better stats. I mean, I don't get it. He has 17,500 attack, and this guy, he has, well, basically 16. But honestly, I don't see it. I don't see this 16,000. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Who do you like to use? Will you tell me? Would I read your comments? Maybe. But okay, thank you, my lovely sausages, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.